The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
It's Thursday in the SWBC Mortgage Studios, home of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm with my compadres, but you know what we doing. You rocking with the best. I am Heckma Harrison, and at the desk per usual, two former players, Danny McCray and BC, the place to be. Barry Church is up in here. Fellas, how y'all feeling today?
Feeling good. Got me a little workout in between, sets. I mean, it's a beautiful day out here.
It's a beautiful day.
Mentals are great right now.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm about to complain for a second, bro.
What's going on, man? What you got going on, man?
This 3-year-old be whining and crying more than I ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
bro,
real.
5:45 this morning, she said, hey, can I have my iPad? I said, no, bro. For the next 15 minutes, all I heard was this, Daddy, I want my iPad. Daddy, I want my iPad. I'm about to put you in timeout. You can't come on, bro.
Can't do timeout at 5:45 in the morning. The timeout get off.
You think I did?
Okay.
Well, there you
go
with
that.
Well, she said she wanted to go to the pumpkin patch, so now I act like I'm calling the pumpkin patch and telling them that we ain't coming. Oh, she be losing it.
No,
Daddy, no. I barely had to pick. I be like, I'm looking for the phone. She be like, no, Daddy, no. Every time somebody calls.
I'm gonna tell you,
Shady for
that right there works till about 8, and then it's like, call the pumpkin patch then.
I got 5 more years to run that skit. I'm good.
I'm straight. 5 more years to run your game on the pumpkin patch.
5:45.
Bro, I talk about mad.
Ooh, I know
You said we got so mad. We was like, we might go ahead and get up.
It's over with then.
Get up.
You ain't getting back in there.
Go ahead and get up.
Hey, man, the Players Lounge sponsored by Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the Dallas Cowboys. But as we always start this thing, man, we started out with a mental check. And, man, your boy Chandler Jones is a reason why you better check on your people.
What's going on over there?
I have no idea. That's why I'm checking on y'all. D-Mac, I'm going to start with you. How are you? Was that the mental check-in right there?
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. I ain't on no QAnon conspiracy stuff like that, man. I'm all right. I'm okay. It's part of parenthood. I understand that's what it is. That's why she go to school, all right? So I get a long time without dropping off at her grandma's house after this. So, yeah. We're going to be all right. Now, we're going to be all right.
He going to be all right today.
We're going to be all right.
Kendrick Lamar.
No, mentals is amazing. Mentals are amazing. Like I said, got a little workout in. Feeling
I can
great.
see your bicep right there. Let me see a
little something going on. But, feel great, man. What about you, Heck? How we doing over here?
Man, I'm good. I came in here in the suit because every Thursday, last Thursday, you came in here with the light-skinned Obama suit
walking on. I had to walking on with it.
So I said, I'm going to come in here like I got some respect for myself. At least put on the jacket.
I feel you.
But nah, man, everything is good. Last night, my son had a game. And I'm going to tell y'all, man, when you got a son, you're on your way to having one.
Come on.
Put it out there.
But I'm telling y'all, man, when you have kids that play sports, it's the hardest thing in the world. Just to keep your patience. I'm telling you. So pray for me. I will pray for you. Man, scored a touchdown last night with a lot of stuff going on with that, but I'm good.
Hip is all right?
Yeah, hip is great.
Hip is great,
man. The boy is doing his thing. But let's talk about, man, I got 2 defensive guys here, so we're going to talk about defense this entire show today. All right, so we're going to wrap this
because ain't like our offensive line practice today.
Yeah, so we're not going to get into no depressive content, all right? But let's talk about this Cowboys defense versus the Pats offense. Obviously, last week, not to bring up old stuff, the Cardinals pretty much had their way with this defense. I mean, the running game was null and void. 222 yards on the ground for the Cardinals, and everybody now is starting to question Dan Quinn. But I know one man that still says in Dan Quinn we trust. But when it comes to this running game, the defensive running games, getting those stops, what does Dan Quinn have to do stylistically, schematically to get the job done on Sunday?
I mean, listen, without me knowing the full scheme, I don't want to sit here and act like I know everything Dan Quinn doing. To me, what I've seen is you got to be more technically sound. Okay, so if you're going to continue running D-line stunts, right, where the guys are spiking in, going into the gap, they line up on the gap outside, then go into the inside gap. If you're going to do that, then your linebackers have to be able to cover those guys when the linemen start to pull from the other side of the formation. So you can't be a step late. I imagine that's probably what they worked on for the entirety of this week, and will continue to work on all the way up through the game, because if you don't, there's going to be a lot of power, which has a pulling guard, a lot of trap, a lot of counter, a lot of that from Ezekiel Elliott and Stevenson until they find out if you can stop it or not. And even when they find out if you can stop it or not, you can guarantee you're going to continue seeing it, because when you playing schemes like that, it only takes one person to be out of position for it to become a big play.
That's it.
Right? And you saw it multiple times when we played against the Arizona Cardinals. It's just one guy who got reached, and then all of a sudden the gap is so big that it's just a safety and that runner one-on-one. And if they miss that tackle, it's a 40, 50-yard game, possibly a touchdown. So I think that Dan Quinn's going to get it right. I think some of the schemes that he runs is going to help fix that. I think we may see a little less line stunting. Yeah. I think you'll see a lot more, hey, man, hit, separate with your hands, play your gap, and then earn the right to rush the passer on 3rd and long. I think that's what we'll see this week.
DC?
I'm with Danny on this one. When you talk about the stunts and how the scheme is going, they got punched in the mouth. I mean, that's plain and simple. Arizona punched this team dead in the mouth, and they weren't able to respond. So hopefully this week they can respond. But to me, it kind of goes back to Rob Marinelli's days when we were with Rob Marinelli as our defensive coordinator. Sometimes you just got to play man on man, bone on bone football, but you got to do that sometimes. I mean, sometimes you just got to say our guys are better than your guys. And I understand what we going with Dan Quinn's defense and a lot of stunting, and it's been beneficial. Don't get me wrong. Dan Quinn is still one of the best defensive minds in the National Football League. That's what makes his defense so special when you talk about getting after the passer or these stunts that they have going and Micah Parsons flashing in and out. But sometimes when a team is just wanting to dominate you on the ground, sometimes you just got to be like, hey, line up in your gap and whoop the opposing man across from you. They say, run defense, it's not about scheme, it's about mindset, and I believe that. I believe that. It's just about one-on-one football, you getting rid of that guy and going and making a play. And if they do decide to double team you, you don't have to get rid of the guy or shut the guy. Just stand your ground. Don't let those guys get up to the second level on your linebackers. So that's part of the problem that I had with this defense. And also, we need those second level defenders, linebackers, safeties that are in the box. You got to get downhill with it. I mean, there was too many times we saw on the All-22 where guys were sitting flat-footed, and I think they were slowed down by the reads. They saw, like you said before, you see too much, you see a little, you see a little, you see a lot. And I think that's what slowed them down a lot. These pulling guards. It was a great scheme by Arizona. Don't get me wrong. It was a great. Got to give them credit where credit is due. They slowed this defense down by giving them a lot to look at as far as motions, pulling guards, where the counter is going. So it slowed those second level defenders down, but you got to get downhill at the end of the day. And when you arrive at the ball carrier, it can't be, let me catch this guy, wrap him up and let him drag me to the ground. Because we've seen it time and time again with James Conner. Those leaky yardages, they add up. When you fall forward for 2 to 3 yards, it ends up being 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 8.
Right.
And that's a huge difference when you talk about the playbook, because offensively, you can do much more with 2nd and 5 rather than 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8, you falling right into Dallas's strength, which is the pass rush. So to me, when you arrive at the ball, at the point of contact, you got to be strong. Drive that guy backwards. I understand it's not going to happen each and every time, but you can't let the majority of the time letting that running back fall forward for extra yards.
Tell me this. So if you are the offensive coordinator, right, and you're watching the Dan Quinn defense, right, and you see our down 4 linemen, what number are you running at?
And if I see those down for a lot,
you running at 90 or you?
I'm running at 11. I'm running at 11.
Right. So
yeah.
So until you find out, I think that's why we do a lot of those stunts when it comes to whatever side Mike is on. Right. When he's lined up over the 3 technique and stuff like that, it's harder for them to be able to do that. But if you're lined up at end and he does that, it shortens the edge, and then that linebacker who's playing over there has to be very aware of how fast that ball and the lineman can get up on them, because that essentially gives the tackle a free go onto the up to the next level. So that's what makes it difficult, and I think we're going to see a lot of that. If Micah Parsons lines up at the right defensive end, the offensive left, you're going to see a lot of runs go that way, because 90 has been playing hell of great football when it comes to the run game.
And you made an example, my bad, but you made an example of it. I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago when you talk about that down running around. Okay, so that means the D tackle, the DN, they stunting down one gap. They're going closer to the center. Then the defensive end is going down to the guard, and then you have to have that linebacker wrap around.
Yeah.
That's extremely hard to do defensively. I mean, the only guy that I've seen really master that was Sean Lee. He was excellent at that. He saw that down. Oh, let me beat this offensive tackle. That's really hard to do, and I think that's slowing down the second level. But we'll see.
That's what I'm telling you about Damone Clark. It's going to be hard for him to be able to pick up on it like a Sean Lee.
That's tough.
In his essentially first year starting.
Yeah.
That's my brings me to my second point. When you turn on the All-22, it seemed to me like the Cardinals were capturing the edges. That's where a lot of those big yardage was coming from, not in the middle of our defense, but on the outside of our defense. And do you attribute that solely to Michael? Because, I mean, he wasn't, the Kaiser Soze, the defense when you saw these big runs on the outside, but it just seemed like that was something that the Cardinals had just found that, look, they cannot execute us not capturing the edge and getting to the outside.
Well, when you run those stunts, it shortens the edge. It takes away the inside run, and then the running back now sees that these defensive linemen are taking up the A and the B gap. So now the C gap is naturally the next spot for you to go. Well, if the lineman is up on the linebacker, now the C gap is walled off, right? And then you got a receiver coming in the crack. That's giving you two-way goals all over the place, right? So, which is why we continue to say, if you're going to run those type of stunts, your linebackers have to be ready to come over the top and meet those pulling linemen at the point of attack, not allowing them to get their shoulders upfield, because once they get there, you see, for us, if you see a Tyron Smith, Terrence Steele, or Zach Martin coming around the corner and they're square on you, it's over for you. It's over for you. You got to get them while they're coming horizontally, knock them off their path, and then set the edge right there.
And I will say this: when we talk about second level defenders, I'm gonna need to see a little bit more out of the safeties when we get this going, because I understand corners, like, hey, man, they get paid to cover. I get that. But the safeties, there was too many times on those edges you seen they getting reached. And I think the problem is it's technical, where the coaches, I'm sure they'll get them right on this, but you've seen too many times where the safety's on the edge against a tight end, whatever the case may be, they got both arms engaged with them. They're trying to lock them out and trying to shed them. Yeah. But you're going to get – those guys are bigger than you. They're going to swallow you up. Pause. So what you got to do is you got to keep that one arm free. I mean, how many times have we seen it where Coach Bacon, all them guys, you got to keep the outside arm free. So at the end of the day, if you do get reached or whatever, it's going to be a holding call because you got that one arm flailing out there. They're going to have to be able to get more into that run support because last week just wasn't it.
So when you look at this Pats offense and you look at their wide receivers, and we talked about Bland and –
I listen. I'll let y'all on with that one.
We're going to defer to you. We're going to defer to you because this is a matchup that when you look at the Pats offense and their wide receiver room, they got Juju Smith-Schuster, still, Super Bowl.
Bourne.
My man Bourne. And you have tight ends in Hunter Henry. You have Gesicki Mike Gesicki from Miami.
Red zone.
Yep. So obviously last week the wide receiver, when we talked about the wide receivers, nobody thought anything of the wide receivers. And next thing you know, these guys are free down the field with big gains. When you look at these wide receivers versus the Cowboys defensive backs, this second level that you're talking about, what do you think about this matchup, and how do you prevent those big plays from happening?
Well, when we look at the matchup with receivers, Patriots receiver versus Cowboys defense, I think this is a game where Gilmore should be able to shine as far as his one-on-one matchup. As we've seen, this isn't the 2019 Gilmore. This isn't Defensive Player of the Year Gilmore. He's lost a little bit of a step. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to have that with age. But he's still technically sound at the line of scrimmage. I don't really see anybody for the Patriots off the top of my head that's just a burner. That's just going to, give you like Hollywood Brown was able to just run away from it. I don't see that, style with the offense. You got a Juju Smith-Schuster. Man, I'll butcher his last name.
Yeah.
But he's more of a possession guy. He's more of a guy that's going to hit you with that intermediate, that short routes, and I think Gilmore can handle that. Bourne, he got a little bit of speed over there. We saw him burn Diggs was that last year on a double move. So that's the guy, deep threat. That's the guy I would lean towards. But overall, I see this as a good matchup for the Dallas Cowboys to get back on track secondary wise. But you can't give Mac Jones too much time back there. I mean, he's not the most mobile guy, but he's accurate. And he can pick apart a defense if you give him time. So we're going to need that pass rush from the first 2 weeks when they went against the New York teams, how they were all over harassing guys. But we all know in order to get that pass rush, you got to earn the right, which is stopping the run, which is going to be a feat this week.
Yeah, I think I don't feel as, of course, I don't feel as confident as I felt when Trayvon Diggs was in the game because you automatically just see how much stuff he covers up. And I'm not talking about running game. I'm just saying, hey, man, don't throw over there at 7 because if you do, he might take it back to the house, and that'll be a score for our defense. Like you said, Stephon, I still feel that Deron Bland played the best of our DB group in that game. Technique-wise, love him when he's in the press technique because he gets his hands on them and he disrupts their timing. So I enjoy watching that. But I still think that this is going to be a test for us. Yeah. Right. I think it's going to be a test because I think we're going to have to put a lot of effort into stopping the run, and that opens you up to play action and man-to-man coverage. All right, and play action, you essentially by yourself unless we start running cover 2 and cover 3 that often, and then man-to-man, it's just you and them. And Mac Jones can complete passes. All right, so we're not. I don't want to sit and act like we can't. Bourne, we know Juju can catch some balls. He's a serviceable wide receiver, and I think we have serviceable defensive backs back there. So I still think it's going to be a nice matchup for us. We should win it if we do what we're supposed to do in stopping the run. But it's still going to be interesting to watch to see how we respond from what happened to us last week anyways. So good to see what we have moving forward in the season.
Do you think that offensive coordinators, now that they've seen that Stephon Gilmore has lost that step, are going to start to circle him a little bit more? Because now with Diggs, you had a tandem where, hey, if you wanted to travel a guy like Diggs, you could, and just allow for Stephon to do his thing. But now with what you're talking about with him and you guys being around the NFL as long as you have, does that worry you, have any concern, especially on the other side when you have such an inexperienced guy?
Yeah, listen, I don't think people are crazy enough to start going at Stephon Gilmore like that. He ain't lost that much of a step. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't that much of a drop-off.
He's seen enough route concepts to where if you lose a step, he can still jump dig routes, comeback routes. They not finna try him like that. Just last year, he was out there picking off Dak Prescott.
That's true.
So he ain't lost that much for them to be like, all right, this the guy we're going to go at. The thing is, they won't be scared to take that shot, but they won't be out in there scheming to say this is what we're going to do to get at 21. I don't think you're going to see that's happening because he was another guy in there tackling, filling holes, filling gaps, you know what I'm saying, making sure that the running game was up as best as he could. And also the passes that we saw get caught on him, they were defended pretty well.
Yeah, he was right there. Even that touchdown, he was right. Like
if I was coaching, I would say stick your hand out there, don't swat. But I mean, it was man, the pass was so low.
It was a hell of a pass.
They're not going to be picking on the guy. He's still a great cornerback. So I'm not worried about that.
But I tell you what, I want to talk about next Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. We got to talk about him because this defense has been feast or famine when it comes down to interceptions. We're going to need to get some of these on Sunday. And we'll talk about that next on the Players Lounge.
Pinky's up.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of you and everyone else absolutely loving new smoothie bowls from Smoothie King. And woo, me too. These smoothie bowls start with acai and pitaya and are handcrafted with fresh toppings like sliced bananas, sweet berries, crunchy Purely Elizabeth granola, and a savory peanut butter drizzle. New smoothie bowls, only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. we cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Cowboys win start before kickoff with winning pregame festivities. Grab all you need to have a winning Cowboys tailgate all season long at the nearest pro shop or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience. I don't know about y'all, but I PTSO. Every Sunday I got my Cowboy gear on.
Ready to roll.
Ready to roll.
That's how I do my LSU stuff.
That's how you do it on Saturdays?
On Saturday?
Hey, man.
I'm wearing it all day.
We
got Ole Miss this week. We got Ole Miss this week. I'll be watching. Hey, man, listen, y'all want to get on the bandwagon, dog? I got T-shirts for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Little lanyards, whatever y'all need. I'll take care of y'all.
You
all right?
bounce back real quick, boy, because after that Florida State game, you had no grease for nobody, and now you back.
Yeah, man.
Who'd y'all play, Grambling? Y'all played Grambling. Had a few games.
We put up 70 on Grambling, looking like Miami Dolphins out there. You know what I'm saying? We put up 70 on them. We just beat Mississippi State.
Played the Louisiana Classic.
Yeah, we feeling good about how we rolling right now.
Y'all got a shot at the SEC, right?
Yeah, we sure do. We got Bama on the list. We still got A&M on the list. How I feel about it right now? Bama is like Dion right now. Hey, this the worst we gonna be, so you better get us down.
Everybody gonna take their shot.
That's how they looking right now. So I'm all right. I'm feeling good.
Looking at chop.
But we beat Bama last year. Don't forget that. We went to the SEC championship. We got smoked by Georgia, but Georgia was on a whole other level last year.
They was unreal last year.
So, and that's Brian. It was a Brian Kelly first year.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I got confidence in a guy like that, but
I'm
an LSU guy. I'm an LSU guy. I'm an LSU guy, man. Yeah,
but we just wait.
Cajun accent. Come on, dog.
What you doing,
Come
Kelly?
on, man.
Come on, Kelly, chill out, man.
Hey, we waiting on you to take us down there, man.
Man,
November. That's what they say. November.
I told you about this years.
You said November.
I said November. If you ain't booked it, you ain't going. I'm just telling you. Well, you got money, so.
Hey, the kind that don't fold. Hey, but we're going to talk about Mac Jones, somebody else with some massive monies. Mac Jones is I don't know, man. He's one of those quarterbacks that he's hot and cold. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes last season, he had his moments. This year, not getting off to a great start. But this Cowboys defense is at their best versus any quarterback when they are generating those turnovers and getting sacks.
Let me tell you something about Mac Jones. You know what I see when I see Mac Jones?
What do you see?
I see that Tom Brady left. Okay, Bill Belichick been around the league for a long time. He was remembering Tom Brady, remembering Peyton Manning, and they went and drafted a prototype when the rest of the league was out there going after Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, athletic guys, and he's one of the few non-athletic quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Him, Kirk Cousins.
That might be it. That might be it.
Stop right there.
And you stuck with a guy who's not as athletic as the rest of the league, and he's pretty much, just in the pocket. He's a pocket guy, but he's not as great of a passer as those guys who they had hoped he would be like. So for us, I'm like, okay, Mac Jones is good. We should beat him. We've seen that if you make a mistake like Trayvon did last year on a double move, he'll make you pay. Yeah. But as far as us being able to create some pressure and forcing him to do some stuff where you say, all right, this is a team that we should get some interceptions off of if we force them to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. Mac Jones and the Patriots are them. Yeah. Are them. But Bill Belichick is smart enough to say, we're going to run it 60 times and let him throw it 4. Yeah. Right? And those 4 times, we're going to take a shot, and if it work, it work. If not. But if you don't make us throw it, we're not going to throw the ball. So it's on us to, force them to put the games in Mac Jones' hands.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're going to have to force him, talk him into interceptions like we've seen before when you get to Mac Jones. But to me, like I've always said, you're going to have to earn the right to do that. Like you said with Bill Belichick, we know coming into this game, he's not going to put it on Mac Jones' shoulders out there at all. He understands that if you go, position for position, skill for skill, Dallas is the better team. They're the more talented team than the Patriots. But when you talk about scheme-wise, Bill's going to get the most out of those players. So it just depends on which Cowboys team is going to come in. Are you going to be that team that's going to be hungry, hunting throughout the entire game? Or is it going to be that team that we saw last week that kind of looked confused when you talk about the running scheme and all that? So we know Bill Belichick has 2 downhill runners, Stevenson and Elliott. And we're going to get the best version of Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, these past couple years, he hasn't looked like the guy we've seen before, but coming back to Dallas, going against your old teammates, you're going to get the best version of Zeke. And Stevenson, we know, another downhill guy. very similar to James Conner, which we played last week, and we saw the success he was able to have. So to me, this is it's less about Mac Jones out there than it is the defense earning the right to get after Mac Jones. I don't want to see Mac Jones get comfortable back there and start slanging that thing all over the place, because we know once he gets his confidence up, he has that ability. Like, he's not the greatest, but he has that ability to carve you up. And I don't want to give this team confidence at all, because once they get confidence, they're going to start rolling. You'll see Judon on the other side. Right. You'll see Gonzalez. You'll see those guys start rolling. So we got to stomp this team out quick, fast, and in a hurry. No confidence.
But you can't change your spots. For this defense, that's who you are. You play an aggressive style. That you want to generate sacks and turnovers. Mac Jones has been sacked 6 times this season. Okay, has thrown 2 interceptions. I'm looking at that sack to interception ratio, not great, but not bad. Mm-hmm. And for your Cowboys defense, this is a guy that obviously, if you force him into some decisions, he'll pat the ball a little bit. Oh, yeah. He's not like Tom Brady. You know, Tom Brady was getting 1,000, 2, mm-hmm. That thing's gone. So, I mean, you talk about earning the right to rush the passer. They're going to do that anyway. You know, so
that's what got him in trouble.
Well, yeah, I'm about to say, you out there trying to rush the passer on a rundown, and that's what happens. All right, when you see these guys running these spike techniques and they got they shoulder dipped and they're
trying to get skinny.
Because you think, you finna slide right past and you're gonna get you a little sack. It's not gonna happen. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna happen. Football said, get out of here.
Yeah. And you're right, when you
listen, they do have to earn the right. They do have to, because I'm telling you, if not, it's going to be a lot of Ezekiel Elliott and Stevenson, and they're going to do it until the game is over. Before you know it, you're going to be like, man, we had the ball 4 times. We couldn't get our defense off the field because we sat out there and let them get 3-4 yards of carry, and they took it every time. 3-4 yards. Boom, boom. Mm-hmm. Mac Jones might throw it for 5 or 6, you know what I'm saying, to get the first down. But other than that, they're gonna put the game in Ezekiel Elliott and Stevenson's hands and then depend on their defense, because our offense has not shown that we finna get out there and be world beaters and score 40 points.
Let me ask you guys something. You guys have played at AT&T Stadium, and this is the 15th season, I believe, at AT&T Stadium for the Dallas Cowboys. Sunday could be their 10th home win, all right? And historically, people have looked at AT&T Stadium, or fans around the NFL have looked at AT&T Stadium as a destination place. Not even like it belongs to the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Like it's a tourist attraction. You want to come in. And now the Cowboys are starting to have a little bit of a home field advantage feel at AT&T. How big do you guys think that is for this team specifically, if they are able to kind of turn the tide with the crowd at AT&T Stadium and have that legit home field advantage?
I think it will be huge, because I'm telling you, when you got the crowd on your back and you got these guys yelling, going crazy, it kind of pumps you up, especially defensive side of the football. When you get a big hit, the crowd, I mean, it pumps you up and it gets your adrenaline rolling. It's sometimes so loud in there. You see opposing quarterbacks kind of like going like this, like I can't hear the audible. I can't. Man, the team feeds into that. You see guys on the sideline waving the flags and waving the towels around, offensively, defensively. You feed into that. That's what you want to have when you have home field advantage out there. Early on in my career, when we were playing at AT&T, it wasn't like that. It was more of like a club atmosphere. Like, people was wearing, dresses and stuff that they wear to the club. People had their flyest fits on. It wasn't about the football game. It was more about a social atmosphere. So we didn't really have that home field advantage. Now you see those whiteouts. You see the towels flying all over the place, and that's what you want from a home field advantage. So hopefully the Cowboys can keep rolling, so this home field advantage can keep staying, because they gonna need it.
This is what I know, man. That's why they giving Zeke his whatever they gonna give him at the thing, because you're right. When we played, we was almost begging the fans to come out and get loud.
Please,
hey man, I'm talking about players who are like, it's just not that loud in there, and we was, oh man, our fans, they just chilling and relaxing. And now the 214, since the 214, jumping at the kettlebell, doing all that stuff. Now you got more of a college type atmosphere versus that professional, it's expensive to come here, so the expensive people are gonna be here acting expensive. And now it's hey man, hey, college atmosphere. Let's go get a beer. Let's go crazy. You see people running through. They always got that video of the people running through when they open the gates. That's the college atmosphere, right? These people are ready to see the Cowboys play, and that's because they believe that there's a chance for these teams to win. When we play, it was 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, right? And then Zeke and them got here and it's 12-4, 13-3. When your fans believe that they're there and they're helping you win with a possibility of going to the Super Bowl, going to the playoffs, that's where you get that type of atmosphere. And it's huge, man. Just like Church said, it is just to hear it, right? You make a play personally. You make a play yourself. That gives you more confidence to be like, oh, yeah, we here now, right? Or that first kickoff, right? And they get real loud. You know that the fans are there to play, so now you owe it to them in your mind. Like, I got to go out here and show out.
Got it wrong.
What's the craziest stadium that you guys can think back on?
Oh, NFL?
No, NFL.
Yeah, 300,000 over there.
You're not gonna do that.
It's Seattle.
Ooh.
Yeah, Seattle, man, they ain't lying about Seattle. Seattle is loud. Kansas City's loud too, but we played when Seattle was out there winning. So, that thing, the 12 man. The 12 man is real.
It's legit.
It's real. Like you feel like when you're out there, like the stadium's right on top of your head. Like it's so loud you can't even hear yourself think. You looking at signals, and you're like, wait, I can't even see the signals because it's so loud. Like
it's shaking it.
What is going on? And then, Seattle to me is number one. Played in both spots, but Kansas City as well. That's another one. When they finish that national anthem and it goes home of the Chiefs, like it's just the whole stadium is just rocking. Like man, that's a crazy atmosphere. Those are the two to me that are most resemblance of the college atmosphere. Like
ain't nothing going on in Kansas City.
Yeah, nothing going on in KC. Everybody's out there. From 8 a.m., you driving in, you get people throwing eggs at your bus. Like it's one of those atmospheres, man. It's a cool place to play.
When you wait on the game all week. Monday, like, we ain't got nothing to do to the Chiefs play at home again.
They've been drinking since 5 a.m. I mean, it's going down.
Tailgate off the chain. What was it like going from the Cowboys to Chicago, Soldier Field? What was the difference between those two? Come on, give me something. No?
I'll tell you what it was in Duval.
Tell me what it was in Duval, man, because this guy right here, he's nodding up.
Bro, we were 5-11.
Okay,
bro, after the first game, bro, it was just a normal thing. It's just like it wasn't anything special. But as the season went on, they knew we weren't winning no games.
Okay.
We was hoping they ran the clock. I'm sitting there like, man, come on, I'm trying to get out of here, dog. I'm trying to move on back to Texas.
Was it like at kickoff? It wasn't even full.
They were still coming in. They were still coming in. Now they was excited on week 1. Okay, Jay Cutler, Forte, Martellus, Alshon Jeffrey. They was hyped in. But as the season went on, you could tell.
It was a wrap.
That was that.
What about Duval?
No, Duval, it was cool. It wasn't nothing like the atmosphere here in Dallas, but because early on the stadium wasn't even full at kickoff. They had to put the tarp up on the upper levels because they was like
the jacuzzi up there.
Because the fans wasn't coming in because they was like, oh, it's gonna be another one of these seasons. But as we started winning, we started putting the beating on people. The fans started coming in. The tarp went away. They started doing shots to the upper stands and people going crazy. But it was still nothing compared to Dallas though. That Duval chant was real though. Duval.
I didn't know y'all had, because I didn't know anything about Jacksonville and they stadiums. I never wanted to watch the game. And then one time I did see them. They had is it a pool or a jacuzzi?
Yeah, it's like a long jacuzzi pool. I think it's long too.
I'm like, what church at?
Man, they out there playing volleyball on that thing. I'm looking up like, hold on.
Then the hillbillies get
dude over there like, hey, throw me a beer. And I'm like, what? What is going on?
That is crazy. Picks. Y'all ready for your Thursday night picks?
Oh, yeah.
You ready for it? All right, so we're going to get our Thursday night picks. Newey's already sent his picks in, so I don't know what the record is looking like, but I'm feeling good. I think I'm
good.
I should be pretty good.
So everybody good.
I'm in the catbird seat.
so everybody good. Everybody can't be good.
We're gonna take our last break. We're gonna take our last break. We'll be right back for the last segment of the Players Lounge.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. Hashtag be your own boss.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Your Dallas Cowboys head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers in Week 5 of the 2023 season. Come out to Miller Lite House at AT&T Stadium on October 8th for a free watch party presented by 7-Eleven. Cheer on the boys alongside the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and Rowdy while enjoying a $5 Miller Lite barbecue, game day fare, and more. Gates open at 6 p.m. and kickoff is 7:20. For more information and to claim your ticket, visit dallascowboys.com/watch party. Go Cowboys.
So AFC and NFC player of the months.
I saw that.
Michael Parsons, TJ Watt.
It's getting real.
And I bet it was like this between TJ and
Myles Garrett. It's gonna be a hell of a race, man. I mean, if they all stay healthy, they go.
My man. See where we going with this?
This Mason them fault.
That's what it is.
Back in action here on the Players Lounge. Danny McCray, Barry Church over here, and look in this last segment. How we do, man. We pick on Thursdays, then Friday. Y'all get some trick bets in there, and some, not bets, excuse me, no bets.
Deals.
Deal or no deal.
Deal or no deal. That's what we do.
There you go.
But tonight's game is the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers.
Division
matchup. That's true.
Green Bay coming off a victory versus the Saints. They pulled it out.
Yeah, Jameis got hurt. Jameis got in the game.
Jameis got in the game.
What crab legs. Eat the wins.
He's the funniest dude in the league who doesn't try to be funny. Like,
he's serious.
About this dude. Wow. So how y'all feel about this game tonight?
I just want to make this clear, okay? I believe that Dan Campbell has done something spectacular over there in Detroit because we remember Detroit was something with Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford, right? But you never really just believed that they was going to actually make no noise, win a division, stuff like that, because had the Packers over there. This year, I feel like
Caldwell won the division. You
didn't believe that.
Okay,
you didn't believe that at the beginning of the year. This year, going into the season, I believe that Green Bay will not win the NFC North and it will go to Detroit. Oh. And also, my former college teammate, Kelvin Shepard, is a linebacker coach there. Might have seen him on Hard Knocks, my linebacker coach. So I got an extra reason to be pulling for the Detroit Lions. And I think they're going to win the division. I think they're going to beat Green Bay tonight. It ain't gonna be close.
What's the score?
What's the score?
31-17.
Ooh.
Jared Goff is gonna have a day.
In Green Bay?
Gibbs will have a day.
I need Gibbs to have a day. I do need.
Yes. DC.
Man.
So is it Saint
Amon St. Brown or whatever.
He's gonna have a day.
Is he playing today though?
I don't know. Hutchinson gonna have a day.
Well, they all
Like everybody out. There's gonna be some days had.
It's gonna be a career day.
Out on the limb.
Man.
No. It ain't no limb. They went out there to Kansas City and beat them at home opener.
That's true.
That's the team that beat them.
Break it down.
Man, I'm gonna go ahead. It's in Green Bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brother Will.
Brother Will over there. What's up, Brother Will? I'm gonna have to go with Detroit on this one. I like everything Danny said about them. They are hitting on all cylinders. But I'm gonna go Detroit on this one. I'm gonna go Detroit, even though Love has looked good. And, replacing Aaron Rodgers, he has looked good so far.
Defense
this
looking
year.
good.
Defense looking good. Taking the ball away. He's smacking. He's smacking boys out the head.
What y'all thinking?
I'm going Detroit 28.
He like to say all that positive stuff about the other teams just so he can tell us.
Just like to chop you up. 28 to 2017. 28-17 Detroit.
28-17. Both y'all going with 17. All right.
Detroit basketball.
So go ahead, pick against. Go ahead. Yeah. You believe in them, huh? Because they playing on Lambeau Leaf all day. Go ahead.
You gotta make up some ground.
too. I do.
He watching them on TV too.
I do.
Like, they pulled out the win last week. I'm watching it.
That defense and. Now I'm going with Detroit on this one. I ain't gonna play that.
Ain't nobody stop Detroit.
It's
I know.
So cold in the D.
Yeah, I'm going 21-10. 21-10.
21-10 Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay.
21-10 on that one, man. 21-10. Make sure I put this down for this.
Because make sure it counts.
Yeah, because you gotta count.
Okay.
See, y'all, hey man, y'all just threw that one out there. Come on, let the people at home know what we're talking about. Everybody's talking about me picking Colorado and telling them that they're not believers. But I'm gonna go back and rewind the tape because I could have swore it was just, hey, what do you think about what's going on this weekend?
It was
it was one of those kind of things where you do this hand motion.
Go watch the tape.
One of them Newisms. Just be like, hey. So what do you think about that?
Go watch the tape. I think we talked about Dion for the first 3 weeks of the season. Okay, we all did our picks on.
You were never actually on board anyway. Let's just say that you were never a believer to the beginning.
Y'all believe he's gonna go undefeated? I believe he's gonna make them better.
I'll tell y'all what, y'all ain't said nothing about this Kool-Aid in about a week now.
No, I said it's still sugar Kool-Aid.
Some Kool-Aid. I'm just making sure y'all still good on the Kool-Aid, man.
Red zone. I scooped out a
little bit
sugar because red zone. Yeah. Red zone took you a little because it was about 4 cups of sugar in there. Okay,
I'm just saying, man.
Now it's about 3.5 cups of sugar.
All right, I'm just saying.
So I gotta ask this. Keep it real with me, man.
Okay.
There are no must-win situations in Week 4 of the NFL season.
Not for us.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying.
Because Kirk Cousins.
Let's go. Lose versus win, especially with the 49ers next on the docket. How big is this game for the Cowboys, win or lose?
It's big if you plan on winning the division, because you're going to play San Francisco. Well, actually winning the number 1 seed. You're going to play San Francisco. You got the Eagles twice. They undefeated. All of a sudden you go into with 2 losses, right? And going into San Francisco, possibly getting number 3.
Yeah.
You need to win if you want to keep pace with the other successful teams in the NFC, but it's not a must-win. Like, you lose this game, you still could make the playoffs. Everything's still ahead of you, but your chances are much slimmer if you find a way to lose to the Patriots and then have to go in with a pressure game against San Francisco in San Fran.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a must-win because, like y'all said, it's Week 4. You still got a lot of games left out there, but with confidence-wise, I would expect the Cowboys to go out there and at least have a better performance than they did against the Cardinals. Like if they went out against the Cardinals and they lost a 17-14 game or something like that where one side of the football, excluding special teams, one side of the football really showed out, then I'd be like, it happens. Those losses happen. But when you go against a Cardinals team and you lose the way they lost where only the special teams was the bright spot, defensively, 222 yards, offensively, turning the football over, can't get it done in the red zone. Those are the type of losses where you look at it like, hold on, man, we gotta get this thing together. So to me, this week is not a must-win, but they got to play better as far as the confidence is concerned.
What's most important? Like, is it most important for us to show that we've gotten better at stopping the run? Like, because as you go through the season, you say, okay, we're going to play teams, right? And if you play bad against the team or you put something on tape that needs to be corrected, and then you go into the next week and find out it's not corrected, then you start to believe, oh, well, you know what? This is who we are. So you go into this game, and it is important to win, but it's very important for you to show that you've gotten better at whatever phases you say you're working on. That's red zone, and that's run defense. All right? So that's what I feel like is the most important here. Are we getting better in the things that we consider our weakness on the team?
And I'm going to keep it real, man. Like, when you talk about stopping the run, that interior, it's not all on Mozzie Smith. I mean, say that. It's not all on Mozzie Smith. Or
all on the D-line?
It's just not
How many
all
snaps he got the first?
It ain't
we
all
know it ain't all on him.
It ain't all on him. It ain't. But at
right.
some point, your first rounder got to show up.
Okay, yes.
I mean, we've gone down the line before, and we've seen first round pick after first round pick. The only one that didn't hit really was Taco Charlton. Right. At some point, he's got to come in there and make an impact. That's what they got him here for, for him to go out there and solidify that rush defense. So I'm not saying it's all on him, but I'd like to see the young man step up out there.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, you definitely hit it when it comes down to the run game. That's something that the Cowboys have to get better at. But I think bigger than that, this red zone stuff has to get fixed. I mean, you got to fix that right now. It's not going to be enough to run up and down the field if you're only trading field goals with teams. And, man, the criticism that they're getting early is warranted because you look at what – 2 of whatever it is in the red zone right now. It's 11, 13, whatever. It's getting astronomical as you go. And when you start to exchange those field goals with teams, I mean, they're going to start playing the bend, don't break style, which you started to see. Yeah. Arizona started to play. 2 safeties high, we'll let you get all the way down there, and then we just go, swoop, we're going to swing this thing back down, and then we're going to start to stop the run. But, man, final question for you guys, and as I was talking about the 49ers looming here, coaches always talk about this is a week-to-week thing. We don't ever look ahead. But as players, do you ever start looking ahead to the next week when you're looking at an opponent?
Not after getting stomped like that. They may have been last week. Right? So. When you start off that way and you say, okay, the big dogs of the NFC are us, Philly, and the 49ers, and we got them coming up at their house, and they beat us twice in the playoffs over the last 2 years. You could be. But then after you go out there and lose to Arizona, then you kind of, you're humbled and you're like, you know what? Can't make that mistake again. If that was the case. Because I think since we got our scheme that way, and then the level of effort, I don't think you just, just sleptwalk. Yeah. I think there were some things that you needed to fix in order to be the team that you hope to be. So, they not looking. They not. I don't think we're ready for that yet. We need to go out here and make sure that our run game is right because CMC, Christian McCaffrey, they're gonna run it. Yeah, Debo, they're gonna run it.
Yeah, they're coming to town, man, and I'm with you. I think it happens every year with teams. You get to a point where you're thinking, oh, man, we got it. You start feeling yourself just a little bit. And then, boom, you get that reality check. I mean, it's National Football League. These guys are good on the other side of the football. So I'm glad the reality check happened early in the season and not towards the end. And then we stumble into the playoffs like we have these past couple of years. So I'm glad it happened now. And hopefully Dan Quinn, like we say, we all trust in Dan Quinn. Hopefully he can get this thing right and the defense can roll.
We all trust?
Yeah.
3.
Because you made him wait 2 years before you was all right, Dan Quinn. So
Dan Quinn, I trust in Dan Quinn. I trust in Dan Quinn. He gonna get this thing right, but
the run defense for me is starting to be a bugaboo, and especially. And I asked y'all about this because I can't lie to you, man. San Francisco's knocked us out of the playoffs 2 years in a row, and for me, I'm looking at that game like, how do we measure up going through? Because we know what Philly's going to bring. We know the rest of the season and the type of running backs that we still have to face. So, look, man, that's I'm looking ahead. Let me just say that. I was hoping y'all.
No, they better not be.
They better not be.
They better not be.
I'm gonna go with that. Man, we had a good show today.
Oh yeah.
Hey, man, that was a good show today.
Hey, if you want to fix these red zone issues, there's only one person you got to call. Y'all West, man. Just give him a call. Go ahead and say, hey, you know what?
We gonna watch them this week too.
What happened?
Everything was going so good. Chris Beam in the back, man. Thank you for doing your thing, homeboy. Man, let me give a shout out to my hood, Oak Cliff, Texas. We in the building.
Oak Cliff.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all. That's the Players Lounge.
Call him up. 305.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?